On this installment of Creative Cabin Fever, I'm going to have a last Vinci special, and I'm really excited to meet these guys. Guys, how are you?
We are good,
We're
dear.
good.
All good. Still alive, just about.
Yeah, we have the studio, so
Everything is good. Everything is nice.
It is nice, and you guys have been so creative in lockdown, so I want the world to know just how creative and awesome lockdown's been for you. So talk me through it.
It's been unreal, dear. It was really, really good, and actually, really, the funny thing about what's happened during the lockdown, that I mean, myself and Brasco, we were lucky enough that we're living very close to each other. So even with the respect of the rules, we actually could see each other. So and on top of this, the week before the lockdown, I finished to build up the Narrow Studio. So.
yeah.
The timing, in life sometimes it's weird because, and actually I have some health issue and I wasn't, really sure I was keeping doing this project. And I need to thank my wife for this, because my wife, she's the real manager of the Last Vinci, actually, as she really pushed me to say, no, we have this project, let's keep doing it, because you need the place, and we all need that. And she followed up the works properly, and I was, because I wasn't able to do it. So, and that's it. We're here. We're here full time. Every day per week. Is amazing there.
But you know what? I'm just going to say this, right? One of the things I love most about being a quarter Italian is the strong women on my Italian side, and the way that the men think they're leading the show, but actually it's us pushing you forward to be your best selves. And I think that's amazing. Like,
it is big time. And then it was the impressive part, because of course today here there's just me and Brasco, but there's Connell, that is actually our bass player, that unfortunately was stranded in the Midlands, and with the family, and we couldn't see him for months. We were in touch with him, and all this time, because it wasn't easy in every moment of this lockdown. So, and he was actually alone not in Cork, because usually he was lived in Cork, but he was, let's say, in the wrong place in the wrong moment, so he couldn't leave where it was. It was with his family, but anyway. We couldn't even have the chance to go in the garden and say hi when actually the restrictions were down, and so we kept us posted. The problem that myself and Brasco, we know each other since we were 3 years old. Is actually 30 years we know each other, and the life is unreal, because we arrived to live in abroad together in the same place, and having another band together, because we were playing. Our first band was done when we were 13, me and him, and it was unreal. So during this lockdown, the productivity of and the creativity went out completely, and the huge chemistry between me and him was so good that we really cannot wait to show to the world what we were planning. And we almost have 2 albums. My God! So for the number of songs that we wrote, and
too much time.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting complicated now, because what the hell we're going to do with all this stuff, No, but yeah, it's very good. It's very good. We're very happy about it.
Like, the music that's coming out of this moment in time is needed for the rebuild of everything that's going on. It's so powerful. It's so beautiful. I'm so happy that everyone who's creative has been pushing themselves and allowing themselves. And I'm so proud of you guys. I can't wait for 2 albums. Give me 7. I listen to every single one of them.
No worries. We're going to serve you with a lot of good stuff. And but I really cannot wait to see, even with the other bands in Ireland, but not only in Ireland, they're going to be out with stuff. Because, I think that this moment was also a very interesting moment for people that really want to do this, apart from that kind of, idol of the success of being someone of what we don't know. But anyway, the fact of being artist is not only question of getting something from what you're doing, is doing what you need to do, like art, music, and this is actually impressive. I really can't wait. I really hope that a new season of good music is actually happening, and let's see. I think that we're just warming up the engine of something that is amazing.
I can feel it. Like I'm being sent like demos from bands and I can just feel the soul lift in them. Like I can hear the depth, I can hear the transformation. Like it's amazing. Some of the stuff I'm being sent, I'm just like, that's just a rough demo. What's the finished piece going to be like? Because I cannot wait to hear it. Like you guys are blowing me away with your creativity and I'm just like, because you see, for me, it's different. Like, obviously, I have an important role in the industry, and it took me a while to understand that being a super fan or a cheerleader was just as important as being a creator. I didn't really realize. But the more is being sent to me, the more I'm like, no, keep pushing. And the more people are like, yeah, we should keep pushing. And I'm like, yeah, that's my job. I'm here to go like, you, do you, because you're magic, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We need you, definitely. I mean, we need each other, It's actually because and having the kind of feedback from people listening to our music and actually support of people that actually give values like this conversation we are having today. And it's make the difference. And we need to make the difference to change this world, and it's a silent change. This is the thing. Good things, they never make noise, they're not loud. But their change, that everything is happening on the ground. So, and it's very good. It is.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. Now, Alex and Brasco, have you had anything you've noticed about your creative process being different in this time? Because I think that's a really important thing to log for future people watching. Like when all this is over, I want to know how this changed your creativity, or did it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, maybe just more occasion to play outside the studio, but the creative work remains the same, I think.
Yeah, for me, the big change was, first of all, was to don't have a commitment on nothing else than writing music.
Yeah.
And for me, it's something. It was so tough in a certain way, because the ability to dedicate the right time to the right thing is not always taken for granted, because and I need to thank so much him, because Brasco is really, I love him so much. He is one of the few person that really is true. Is one of the few after my wife able to understand how to really to shape my, I mean, constant way of thinking about the future, about the planning, about all these kind of things. No, I mean, it's unbelievable, because at one point, in many occasions, it was really good to say, man, let's dedicate to the music. Don't care, now it's the time. But with that kind of love, to say, okay, I do it, okay. And yeah, because I mean, we've been always very creative. And then it's the first time after, let's say, 10 years or maybe more, that we worked together to new music. Because last year, when the last Vinci came back, it was after a big long period with Order of the Mass for me. And I mean, and actually it's funny, because my last gig with Order of the Mass was in Waterford. And when actually the deal with another good band happened in that day, because that gig was Order of the Mass and By Curious. So, and from there, I mean, Brasco was there, because
Yeah.
it just moved from Italy, and with no hope, to start to play again as we were playing before. Then
Yeah. That night, a lot of things
happened,
Yeah.
and it was unreal. And after that night, I mean, there was a big change. We didn't know yet what was the big change that was actually coming, but the thing that at the end of that year, myself and him, we started to jam again, like where we were at 13, because Brasco is an amazing singer, but it was the singer of our previous band in Italy called Non Conventional Sound, but it was actually my first drummer, my first proper drummer. And it was good to hang out there. Then to start jamming together, like, even on drums, myself with the guitar, with all my big set of amps that is actually I can play on my own. It looks like I'm 7 people playing with me. And the funny thing is that, I mean, then Order of the Mass, unfortunately, almost from a day to another, I mean, completely shift out. And I already planned to come back with the Last Vinci after my first album, because I had this EP that actually went out last year, that it was already, I mean, I have all the songs since 2015 after my last UK tour for the promotion of the first album, but we honestly didn't plan to have something like, we have something like 35 gigs last year. I mean, we really played in Italy, UK, in Ireland. I mean, we it was super busy, and it stepped in these things, and we started to work together like we were working together 10 years before, but we never started writing new music together. Of course, at one point, we started to write, it was on a natural transition to start writing music.
Yeah. A quick natural transition.
Natural transition. It was, the most natural thing ever, It's like, really, if Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, they hang out in a basketball court, they start to play together. So, and because it's natural, this is something, and that's it. I mean, we started this creative process, and then, I mean, with the ad of Connell, that is, it's unreal. Connell he just got a degree in quantum physics. Okay, it's a big brain, super big brain, and is, even if 11 years younger than us, is at the level of maturity of that guy, even artistically speaking, it's unreal. After 6 months we didn't see each other, he stepped in the studio and it was like we were jamming the day before. So really, it's something, this connection between me and Brasco and Connell, it's something that is creating something magic, really.
But it's like, I'm noticing that myself, right? I'm sorry for cutting over you, but it's vibes and tribes. Like, over the last 4 months with all these interviews, I'm finding my people. Does that make sense? It's like, there's just something really magical happening where you just know these are the people. Like, it's like how when you met By Curious, you didn't know what was going to happen next, but now you're their manager, and like, they're one of my favorite bands, and meeting them and having them in Waterford it was actually the last Viking gig before I was on board. So to me, that was a very important gig. It was my birthday weekend, and I went to see them to celebrate my birthday, and I felt like a rock star being able to see By Curious for the first time in that setting in Dive Records. And I left that gig with a want to be promoting again, but I didn't know it was going to be possible. And then a month later, Eddie was like, you obviously really missed this and the passion is there. Do you want to just join? And I was like, what would I do? And he was like, look, just try it out and we'll see what happens. And now, like, my second interview was By Curious, and you guys are so connected. Like, it's just,
yeah. It's great.
Connection is the answer.
Yeah, definitely. And but actually, we think, I mean, that dive gig, probably we were opening for By Curious in that gig. I don't know if it was that one, because I mean, we played with By Curious in Dive Records. Do you remember which month was?
I don't have the poster on my wall, actually. I have the Fez one and I have a Thumper one. My toddler ripped down all the other posters. This sounds mental, but I like to have the posters to my gigs on my wall, or any gig that marks me. Like, I've loads of ticket stubs. Like, I basically am a teenager again. Like,
dear, we are teenagers too. We are full of posters in the studio. So
I cannot explain this, but I'm so happy to be doing what I'm doing, because it's what I always was meant to do. And life just kind of took a funny turn for a while. Now I'm back. I'm like, this is it. Like, I want posters everywhere. I want reminders daily. I want to feel it, like, so yeah, it's mad, but I don't know. Maybe you were the opening act. I can't.
It can be because we were touring together. I mean, it was, I think, can be that it was or September 2019.
It was September, because my birthday is the 23rd. That gig was the 21st of September, if I remember correctly. It's on the back of the t-shirt as the first one of the By Curious tour.
Yeah, it can be. No, we were definitely in.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were opening for them, and I remember it was a magic night. That one was so good.
Yeah, it was a magic place.
Yeah,
very cool with the records and
Oh, yeah. Ben and his partner Thais, they put their heart and soul in that place. They're the type of people that dream with their eyes open. I think they give us all hope that it's okay to do that. And obviously they've had to give up the venue for now, but I know they've got different ideas in the works, and this time has actually given them a chance to do what they want. Like, Ben is a fantastic DJ. Like, he's a techno DJ and he's toured with really big names over the years. He's incredible. And Thais is just a force of nature. So the venue closed down back in, I think, February. I was there for the closing, and it was kind of all sorts of heartbreaking, but it was all sorts of beautiful because it was like we were all getting our fresh start at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that venue.
But actually, I mean, the shop is still open, or no, they closed everything.
February, yeah. So everything started to change in February, I think. Eddie gave me Viking. Dive closed down.
Yeah.
Look, March then happened. I had Steak and DJ Day planned, and I had to cancel it because that was March 14th, and lockdown started on March 12th. So then I cried for 3 days, and then I started doing interviews, and here we are.
No, also, I think that this is actually, we have a huge opportunity here. I mean,
Yeah, every ending is a new start, actually.
exactly. The point. It's true. It's
So true.
It is true. It's actually true. And I really hope that, that everybody don't stop losing, hopes. And we actually need to start to really try to make the difference. Don't wait for something to happen. Let's make it happen. So, and this is the thing. So it's nice. Let's see.
It's amazing. Like, I literally am looking at you with so much pride. I'm so excited to see what's next. So do you have any exclusives for me? Is there anything cool happening that I need to
Yeah, there's something that is cool that is happening next week, actually. And we have a new video coming out. And it's just a wrap up of the tour of 2019 that it was massively good. And we actually very proud and happy that we played in so many big places. I think on really 30, 35 gigs that we had, only one went not very good. All the rest were a success. And and it's going to be actually the song that gave the title to our last EP. And then it's a very short title. It is called The World and the Kenny, the Devils, the Vegans, and all the millennial shit. So this is actually the title of the song.
That's so perfect. I love it.
And that's, it's just, it's containing, footage of, all the tour, the recording of the EP, all the people that were involved in actually the Magic Year 2019. And it's good because actually we finished the tour in December 2019 with properly the idea to have a break. And because at the least for me, I'm on tour since 2014. So, and I had enough. I needed to, to stop first, even for my body, honestly. And I needed to have a break, and also, to have the kind of conversation with my elderly daughter to say, Daddy, you don't think it's enough touring now? And it's funny because I had more conversation with my daughter than my wife. That at one point she was stepping and say, but can I have a word on this? Because is my husband not, I can understand. But yeah, and now all the time with the fact that I have the studio here, and even during this lockdown, the family moment, even for myself and Brasco, because between us, we have 8 kids, because as a father of 3 kids, I have 5 kids. Let's say that it's a community of families that play.
It's always about the community.
Exactly. It's always about the community.
But I love that. Like, I have a tribe of people. And if it wasn't for lockdown, I wouldn't have realized I have a tribe of people, right? Because I thought I was on my own, because my family don't really live here. And I didn't realize that I had so many incredible friends, that my son has incredible uncles and aunts that aren't his by blood. And it wasn't until I lost everything and had to rely on people that I realized it was me stopping that from happening, because I was too proud. So it wasn't until everything fell apart that I realized, actually, these people love me and they love my son and they want to be there. So let them. And that's amazing.
It is. I can tell you that the biggest conversation between us and our kids about this kind of community thing is to try to explain them, why, are we cousins? Are we, are you brothers, you and Uncle Brasco?
Kind of.
I mean, and it's actually now we have the family tradition, and because now when we are practicing in the studio, I mean, our wives are on the other side with the kids playing outside. So we are moving from the studio, the recording of stuff, to the pizza. So this is actually, and it's unreal. Tonight, I mean, today we're gonna spend all day long together until tonight. So, and because after this interview, we're gonna keep working on the stuff we're working in the studio, and then we keep spending the time on the family. And this is the energy that we have. You know, it looks weird because, I mean, a lot of people have this kind of, you know, thoughts about the fact that it's not possible to do something like this if you have a family, if you have, it's just the fact that you are excluding something from your life because you are scared, and that's it. But it's we are completely aware that it's not easy to go through that. On the other side, we are the living proof that it's possible. This is just this, and that's it. I completely forgot we were talking about.
No, it's okay. I'm going to bring us back to that. But I really think this part of the conversation is very interesting because it might resonate really strongly with people, because it's after making me realize that this is something I've grown in lockdown, right? But there's obviously this real familial way about me because I am part Italian, and that's the way I was raised. I always thought it took a village. Like we all kind of, I'm the only grandchild on both sides. So I was always very special, but I don't have brothers or sisters to help me along. I don't have any first cousins. I have nobody. Like it's just me. And I'm in Ireland on my own since I'm 14. Like my grandparents were here, but they're both dead. So it's just me and my boy. And I got really, really proud when I become like when I left when things didn't work out in my marriage. I became really proud. I was like, this is mine. This is my son. I can't rely on anyone. And I was kind of like, so I can't chase my dreams. But the more things happen, the more I realized if I don't chase my dreams, how can I teach him to chase his? So I had to kind of, like you, find a way for me to have my dreams, but also give him the best life. So I found my friends, the ones that I know I can go, look, I need an heir to myself. Can you bring him to the park? And they will. And even just something like that, it seems very alien in Ireland, you're correct, but it's what makes sense, because the more people your children are around, like obviously trustworthy people, I'm not saying give them to strangers, right? But the more they can grow, because they'll see other points of view, they'll understand things differently, they'll be shown things you can't teach them because you don't have the knowledge, or, you know, everyone affects your life as you're growing up. So it's beautiful, and it does allow you in a sense of community. We should all be more connected, I think.
Definitely. Apart from the fact that we're waiting you here to celebrate a bit of fun with us next time you're coming over, and but yes, what I can tell you, I mean, in 2011 when I moved, in 10 days we moved away from Italy. Okay, myself and my wife, we have 2 kids at the time, and I'm coming from a very big family. The reason of the name of the last Vinci is because I'm the 8th of my family. Okay, I'm coming from a very big family that actually have very, very good relationship within each other. And it was funny because when I left the country, I was, let's say, the first one of our community, because we have other friends that moved from our same part of the town where we're schoolmates that actually are living here with their family now. We are a very, I mean, nice community now. It's unreal. If I think in that 10 years ago, I couldn't even imagine that something like this could actually happen. But the thing that, I mean, talking about the fact to rely to people that technically are not your siblings, but they became your brothers and, you know, uncles and aunties for, you know, for your kids, is it's unreal. Because for us it's happened like this. In 10 days I moved here. It took me something like 5 weeks to find a house actually could host my family. And from that day, the day that we arrived here as a family, and we couldn't relate to anyone. So one thing that I needed to do was asking to people, to strangers. And I risked a lot, because I really risked. And it was funny because when I started, the first people that I started to ask was the neighborhood, and was the people next to our door, and some colleagues at work. Really say, guys, I am a father with 2 kids and my wife is alone. Can you give me a help? And people that really I never expected actually they were helping us. They gave us their life for us. And they became really close friends. They became something that now it's actually, you know, they're more close than relatives. And it's unreal, you know, we're all connected. I mean, this is the thing. Sometimes we think too much in a selfish way, because the individualism that we are living at the moment is huge. But this is he's the biggest lie, this one. I mean, we're all connected. We just the fact to help each other. And I mean, we're right here like being in a family, and we are building up another family as well. So it's super good, also related to music. And we're aiming to do something like this in music. I mean, to try to, I mean, create the kind of sense that we are all bands try to achieve something, but we don't have to fight against each other because, oh my God, that one achieved that. Oh my God, no. I went on tour UK. I give you help if you want to go on tour UK. Just help me. I mean, I can share my contacts. Then what times you give it to me? I mean,
Sure, we're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. There's enough room for all of us if we just get along and share the love of the music and understand that we need to help each other. It's a better world. My street's the same as where you live, right? I have 3 neighbors here. I can literally ring them and go, "Are you free?" And they'll say, "Why?" And I'll say, "I want a cup of tea with Keanu," or "Can you take him for 20 minutes because something's after coming up?" And they will all say yes. But that's something I wouldn't have done a year ago. And now I'm like, these people, they understand it. Like, if they need me, I'll do it back. But I was always very good at doing it for people. I just wasn't good at asking for help. I've only learned.
yeah, it's not easy to ask at all because you put in a point of weakness. This is the thing, you know, the fact that you need help, and that sometimes we're too proud to understand we need help. And but then we realize that there's a new word in front of us.
Yeah, people seem to think vulnerability is a weakness, but actually it's a huge, huge benefit, because if you show your vulnerable side, people are more likely to be open with you. And the more open you are, the more you can heal. So
Yeah, let's listen everybody more about idols. I mean, they are the one that you have to teach us that in their songs. and that's it. It's lovely talking to you, Rebecca. It's great.
thank you. Yeah, I know these interviews, they're never quite straightforward, are they? They could be about anything, couldn't they? I'm really excited today, actually, because my favorite band of all time is Bush, and they released an album yesterday, and I'm wearing their t-shirt, right?
Ooh,
They released an album yesterday, and tonight they're doing a live stream of that album. And I actually am going to be in my bed with my favorite takeaway, watching Gavin Rossdale and the guys play that album live for me.
nice.
It's just like, because I was like, that's it. They've cancelled the tour. I'm not going to see Bush again. Like, the first time I saw them, I was 16 years old and I cried from start to finish. I was so emotionally happy that I finally got to see them. I fell in love with them when I was 12 years old, when I heard The Science of Things, which is this t-shirt. Letting the Cables Lie, like, just blew my mind that the song could sound like that at 12. And I think that's the first thing that made me go, okay, music's really super important. Let's love music. So I was like, online gigs are kind of amazing, aren't they? I saw that By Curious are doing an online festival. That looks lit. Like, that video that was put up today for Transmission, like, that's just so funny. Those boys are just so funny. Like,
They're hilarious, really. I mean, all the time we spend in, I mean, some hours, I mean, in the same place with them is just pure joy. Pure joy. Yeah. I mean, then, I mean, we went on tour with them last year, and how was it, man? It was nice.
Was super cool. And I personally discovered them, and I'm totally in love with. It's an amazing band, really amazing people.
Yeah, they are. And yeah, they are real, and they're super funny. I mean, also the video they made for the festival, I mean, it's super good. And so it's, yeah, they're like this. So, and they deserve so much. Yeah, it's not only because, I mean, of course I'm their manager, but I mean, in general, their music is something that gives something. I mean, for the instrumental rock, they are doing something that is, it's something unbelievable. I mean, that is, it's completely different from the others, and it's the main reason why I started to work with them. And because they were doing something that it was in the instrumental rock that was memorable. I never listened to instrumental rock before them.
but I can see by your t-shirt you like, and so I watch you from afar,
yeah.
right? So I can see that you kind of like it now, Alex.
No, I like, no, this is actually very funny there, because, but then, so watch you from afar. I mean, I built up Order of the Mess after a gig in 2013 of Enzo Watch You from Afar. Okay, so it was the main reason why they and so much for fire became one of the most important bands for me, and I had the chance. I mean, during one of the last gigs that they had in Cork to bring one of the T-shirt of Order of the Mass to Rory Friars, and from them, that guy is such a cool guy that we became friends from them. He gave me his contacts. He said, I want to know the story of the band. And we became friends like this. And then there was the kind of connection that we start to talk to each other and in a very genuine way. I mean, and then it was this kind of weird, the word is weird because in one point, By Curious, ended to support in some Watch From Afar, not thanks to me, but thanks to another connection. And then with the fact that they discovered they were managed by me, it was, I mean, the cherry on top. And it was something that life is weird. But I mean, By Curious, I mean, and so Watcher From Afar they were very important for me as a band, they influenced me so much. But By Curious, they really opened to me a new world of music because and then really I'm still looking for someone that is playing the same kind of in the same kind of way with the same kind of creativity. So far I didn't find it. And then when we decided to do some stuff with them, and it was one of the best choices that I ever did in my life. And because actually this is not only part of what I'm doing, is what we do as a band also. I mean, even Brasco was involved in the album for some parts. I mean, there was a lot of involvement of different people in the new album, also because of the sense of community. Yeah. And it's good. It's good. I mean, By Curious are really unreal, and I cannot wait to see that streaming. I mean,
me either. Like the last gig I saw was Vern and Jane supported by Curious, and me and you were meant to meet in the flesh that day, but then stuff just didn't go the way it was supposed to. And then a few weeks later we started talking. It's just the interconnectivity between us all, I just think is amazing. Do you know what I mean? I think it's amazing.
It's true, really. And that's it. Yeah, it's class. If I think that day I need to meet up so many people that day, and I wasn't sick since 2013, and I got sick on that day. And a certain way, I mean, it's okay because it was actually 1 week before the lockdown, so maybe I was getting the COVID and maybe going to the gig. I don't know, but anyway, it's fine. I mean,
I had 5 meetings planned that day and everyone cancelled, so I think it was so I'd be able to enjoy my last gig for a while.
Yeah.
Fully, just go. And it was a beautiful gift, because if someone said to me lockdown's happening, you're not going to get to a gig again, that is the gig I would have chosen. Vern and Jane blew me away. By Curious blew me away. Like, you should be so proud of them. They did amazing. And I cannot wait to see what they do with Transmission. Like, it's something so different, an online festival. I'm so excited because everyone thought there's going to be no festivals this year. And all it is there's going to be a festival. It's just going to be different. And I think that's amazing.
Class, yeah. Let's see. I'm really curious to see what it is. It's a new word to, to get music. Now, this is the moment of doing this. Let's keep doing it. So.
Exactly. Now, what date is your video out? Because I'm really excited about that too. I just get so excited about everything. It's hard to.
Friday the 24th, next Friday. So.
Amazing. So what I'll do is I'll share it on our platform. If you just send me a message on the day, I'll make sure that's shared on Viking, and I'll share it in all the music groups I'm part of, because all of a sudden people's adding me to their groups, or they're like, what's good music going on right now? And I'm just like sharing music everywhere, like some kind of mad cheerleader, but I love it. So I'll share it everywhere for you.
Thank you.
Alex, Roscoe, is there anything you want to add to the interview before I stop recording?
Anything to say? No. What I can.
You said enough.
I talk too much. Yeah. No.
I think it's the Italian thing, right? I'm the same. Like, my hands are so movie and I'm so passionate, and like Irish people just don't get me sometimes. It's like I get lost in translation all the time. They're like, what is she? Why is she so like this? I can't help it.
No, I mean, what I can say, just thank you so much, Rebecca, for your time today. And also what we can say that we are really cooking something special for all of the people that are listening to our music, and we really cannot wait to share it. It's going to take another bit of time, but because we want to cook the things in the right way. So, and
we're Italian.
Exactly. We love cooking. So
yeah, but the creation of a piece, there's no time on that, right? So however long it takes for that piece to be birthed and done correctly, you're the only ones who'll know, and you'll know when you know. So I cannot wait to hear it when it is ready, because there's no point in it coming out beforehand. But I know it's going to be perfect, and I know it's going to be completely your magic.
Thank you. Finger crossed. Thank you, Rebecca, so much.
I'll stop recording now. Thank you, guys.